to this powerful session by sitting with the back straight, aligning head, neck, and spine in one straight line. Feel the physical body awareness, where the boundary of the skin ends. Be physically present by occupying the whole body. From head to the toes, fingertips, everything inside this body, the frame of this body. Then expand your awareness to encompass your breath awareness by breathing in very slowly and deeply. Enter into a pause, a gap, and then exhale very slowly and completely. At the end of your exhalation, you enter into the second gap, the neutral zone. So continue to breathe in and out with awareness of two gaps. Let the breathing settle you into the restful awareness. As we prepare our body, mind, and consciousness to enter into the meditation, the dhyana, into the space of listening, authentic listening. Listening with pure awareness, shravana. In that restful awareness, I'd like you to join the palms in Amajali Mudra, the prayer pose in front of Anahata Chakra, your heart center. Let's invoke Swamiji by chanting the Sadguru Vandanam. Take a deep breath. Nityanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamutim Dvandvatitam Gagana Shatrisham Tattvamasya Rilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Savari Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarihitam Satguruntam Namami. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Now you can declare your intention to experience this meditation. The full experience of this meditation, the benefit of this meditation, which is the power of sound. Send the intention to the cosmos to bless you, to bless all of us, to experience the power of sound taken from Shiva Sutra. So let me just pause for a while. Let me see who are here. Okay, great. So all of you who are here, please turn on the camera if you can, so that I can see you. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm first going to set up, as usual, the context of this technique. Okay, why the power of sound? How the sound is taken from the space element and how to use that to raise your consciousness, elevate your consciousness, your body, and your mind. So with that understanding, then I'm going to give you the sutra, the Shastra Pramana taken from Shiva Sutra, which Paramashiva outlined this technique. See, all the technique in Shiva Sutra are a technique which can lead you to enlightenment. Understand? Each technique is independently intelligent enough to lead you to enlightenment. And in fact, he said that each technique is independently intelligent enough to create a religion. Just like how Buddha, he created the technique of the breath and through Vipassana Buddhism. So this is also a technique which is the power of sound, and that itself can create a religion. So that is he gave 112 techniques in a Shiva Sutra. Okay, so with that understanding, let's get into the slides itself. So this is taken from Shiva Sutra, the power of sound. So let's understand what is the power of sound. See, the Vedic seers, the master, the sages, they declare that the whole universe is nothing but nada, or the sound. That is why they call this whole universe called Nada Brahman. Okay, the whole cosmic existence is nothing but vibration of different frequency. So it is from sound, everything else was created. See, in the space element where creation happened, everything, all creation come from sound. Okay, so this is the first powerful cognition you need to have. Now let's go into the next understanding. The power of sound awakens your consciousness. How is it possible? Let's look at it. See, sound is one of the very important methods to awaken the higher consciousness in you. See, in the Eastern religion, in Eastern side, which is like India, language is not just used to convey a particular meaning or a logical concept. In fact, in Vedic tradition, language is used for transmitting vibration also, like Sanskrit. Sanskrit is also known as Deva Bhasha, which is language of the god. So that's why a lot of these, scriptures, they were delivered in Sanskrit, the original language from the god. And Sanskrit is not just, has got meaning, but is frequency-wise, vibrational, phonetically has got significance. That means the vibration creates certain rewiring of the brain, certain impact on the whole body mind. So understand, Sanskrit is a very powerful, language, which is the mother of many, many languages, which created, powerful vibration within us. So that's why in Vedic tradition, like in Gurukul, children are, taught to learn Sanskrit in its authentic way. So, because through the chanting of the Sanskrit, it just creates a different, not only vibration, but rewiring of the whole brain happens. Okay. So now let's enter into the next thing. So understand sound that can awaken your consciousness. So that's the second powerful cognition you need to have. Next, it elevates your body mind. See, your body mind can be elevated, raised, can be teleported to a different plane of consciousness, different lokas. To sound, you can travel different vertical time zone to a different plane of existence by the power of sound. Okay, so the Vedic master could turn the whole life because they know the power of sound. They know how to use it. They know how to use the sound particles for whatever intention they want to create in the outer world. Okay, so that's one of the thing you need to know, that in fact in the Vedic tradition, the power of sound was used versus the power of light particle. Light particle is what you see in a lot of technology now, light source particle, the technology. But the power of sound, the sound technology, which has been lost during the Mahabharata war, because the whole science was destroyed because it's too powerful. And if it lands in the wrong hand, it can destroy the earth many, many, many times. So that sign was lost somehow. And Swamiji said that he's going to revive that once again when we create the enlightened civilization. So it's really, really exciting that the whole power of sound is going to be revived to its original glory. So now you're going to learn and experience the power of sound in today's meditation technique. So next thing you need to understand how the power of sound, they use this sound technology to create nuclear bombs of sound called the Brahmastra. See, in Mahabharata war, this nuclear bomb using the sound technology was applied. That's why in Mahabharata war, everything got destroyed. Good or bad, everything got destroyed. Okay, so Brahmastra is a kind of nuclear bomb which was used in those days using the power of sound. Just by the power of sound, they were able to create such positive or negative energy. If it is used for creation, right, for enlightening somebody, it is called Brahmo Padosha. This is called Brahmo Padosha, is used for enlightenment purpose. But if it's used to destroy somebody, it's called Brahmastra. Understand the difference? Enlightenment or destruction. For enlightenment, it's called Brahmo Padesha. Sorry, Brahmo Padesha. For destruction, like in Mahabharata war, where they destroy many people during the war, it's called Brahmastra. Okay, so this was a very powerful technology used, and then after that it got destroyed. So this whole science was lost on planet Earth for a long time. Okay, so it takes another incarnation after Krishna, like Swamiji, to revive this, to bring back this technology once again. But of course, for people who use it, they need to have the consciousness to use this technology. Otherwise, it's too dangerous, too powerful and dangerous. So let's get into the next slide. Sorry. So the next slide, how to experience the power of sound. Okay, so see, he says that only when you can sit with yourself, only if your mind and words are integrated, only if you have enough inner space, you can experience the power of sound. Understand, these are, he's outlining the criteria for you to experience the ether element, the space element. One, if you can sit with yourself without agitation. Second, if your mind and words are integrated. If your minds are word not integrated, because you say one thing and then your non-integrity, you can't experience the power of sound. Okay, because imagine your vibration, whatever you say is going to happen. Now, if you're not integrated, so obviously there's no impact on, you know, what you say. It means it's not going to manifest as reality. Also, if you have enough inner space, you need to have an expanded inner space for power sounds to be experienced. Okay, so the basic quality to experience the power of sound is you must be able to sit with yourself doing nothing. We're so used to doing, running and doing, the doing part. We forgot how to be. The being part is lost in the modern, you know, lifestyle. So going back to the lifestyle, making yourself sit with yourself is required for you to experience the power of sound. If you work through yoga, purify your inner space, your mind through pranayama, through your diet, everything, if you're able to do the purification and learn to sit with yourself, this power of sound will have a very deep experience. You would experience the ether, the space element powerfully. Okay, so he said that the only criteria is make sure you're able to sit with yourself doing nothing. That is Paramashiva's instruction. So the whole evolution of your spiritual practices, your spiritual sadhana, should aim at learning to sit with yourself for dhyana to happen, meditation to happen. So of course, we all started with yoga, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, then we call it dhyana and samadhi. Okay, so let's get into the next slide. Sorry. So here's a Shastra Pramana from Shiva Sutra 39. So here it says, "O Bhairavi," which is addressing to Devi Parvati, by perfect intonation of the pranava, Om, the sacred syllable Om, by contemplating on the void at the end of the sound, as the sound enter into the soundfulness, let you also enter into the energy and be liberated. He said liberated means experiencing moksha, enlightenment, just through this technique of sound. Okay, so let's decode the instruction now, the technique. So he said, intonation. So it means the vibration of the Om. Okay. Then by contemplating on the void, it means the emptiness at the end of the sound. See, at the end of the Om, you enter into a vacuum, a void. This vacuum is not just silence, but it's a live silence, okay? Filled with vibrancy, frequency, energy. Enter into that. And then as you enter into that, go to the depth of that soundfulness, and then experience the energy and liberation. Okay, so I'm going to give a little bit more detailed explanation of this technique now. So intense living sound is silence. Okay, silence does not mean vacuum. It is, silence means intense living sound. The sound is living. Remember Swamiji said that ether, the space element, is a living entity, is living. So you're going to experience it as a living entity. So Paramashiva says, enter into the soundfulness, the intensity of sound. Then no sound can disturb you. If you go into that sound, the source of the sound, nothing in the outer world will ever shake you, ever. You become so solid, so grounded, so powerful. This is what we call Anahata Dwani. Okay, Anahata Dwani means the uncreated sound, the sound which is not created by two things hitting each other. Anahata means creating or hitting, but anahata, okay, ahata, okay, anahata means not created. So it's the primordial sound, Om. Om is the original primordial sound which is created, but not by hitting. It just happened, okay? So when you go to the soundfulness of the Om, you experience a sound which is silence. Enter into the silence of the Om, okay? The silence which cannot be disturbed by any sound. That is the original sound, okay? The primordial sound, okay? So listen intensely to the Shastra Pramana, the Sutra, then Paramashiva explained more detailed the technique. Okay, now let's enter into the next part. He says, now we have a technique, how to use the power of sound in your life, okay? Paramashiva is giving us the technique for two things. First, what's the benefit? How to connect yourself, elevate yourself to the level where you can use the power of sound, meaning integrating yourself. So sound, the power of sound can be used for integration rather than fragmentation, like body, mind, feeling all over the place, your thought is all over the place, you don't feel your consciousness. So integration of you, okay? So that's the first benefit. The second benefit, how to use the power of sound and achieve enlightenment. Hey, this is what we're all here for, right? Achieve the ultimate moksha, liberation, meaning evolving beyond yourself, right? Beyond this small I into the big I, which is oneness with the source, Paramashiva. So this technique is going to directly help to integrate your inner chattering, your inner verbalization, okay, your thoughts, and create more and more inner space. Your inner space is going to expand, expand, expand so huge, okay, to the level of the entire cosmos. So this is what you're going to experience through this technique. Okay, let me just go through that. So when you create a particular sound like Om, your mind will be occupied only with that sound, especially if you chant loudly, if you make the sound loudly. So if you're using the word internally, your whole being will not be integrated. Okay, so if you chant internally, like in silence, you will not be integrated. But when you create the sound loudly, let others also hear it or listen. So here Paramashiva says, start loudly, then you will be listening. Otherwise, you'll be listening with some other thing outside. You won't listen if you are chanting internally. So you need to chant the Om loudly at first, okay? Falling into the meditation and start a loud voice with the Om. Slowly you'll find that the inner being is filled with that Om vibration, okay? Then your whole energy is concentrated to that sound of Om, okay, the primordial sound. Then slowly reduce the sound. So after that, you start to soften the Om chanting or the Om intonation. Go, as you soften, go to the depth from where the sound is arising. Understand? Go to the depth where the sound is arising, from where that sound is coming out to the source, to that source. Go to that source. Go to that being, which is none other than Bhairava. Go to the being, Parabrahma Shiva. See your inner space is filled with that soundfulness. Okay? Got the technique? Okay? So are you all ready? So I got you. I will play the Om, and I'd like you to chant the Om loudly first. After a few minutes, I say now, I would tell you to soften the Om and start going to the source of where the Om is coming from. Okay? At the end of the Om, there is a void, there's an emptiness. Go to that source. Okay? So first, get yourself into the vibration frequency of the Omkara. Omkara means chanting of the Om. That means, verbally, loudly chant the Om. Okay? After that, after some time when you're listening to the sound of Om frequency, then start reducing the sound, okay, of the Omkara, and then start going to the depth where this Om is coming from. Understand? At the end of that Om, there's an emptiness. Go to that depth and meditate on that. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so now I want all of you to put on your iPad. Wear the iPad. Sit with the back straight comfortably, where you can sit for a long time with yourself. So Lisa, who's the Lisa 上这个课程的时候，全部要打灯亮过去，你要打开视频，我才可以看到你。Okay, all of you turn on the camera because you're going to enter into a very intense space of vibration because open all of you up to experience this technique. Okay, so please sit with the back straight. 背坐直，然后戴上你的眼罩。Okay, so now, great. So let me repeat the technique again so that you fully understand for those of you who just joined. First, the technique is you create intense deep sound of the Omkara. Okay, so that is the first step, creating the Omkara, creating that sound for a few minutes. I will guide you when to soften it. After a few minutes, I will tell you to, along with that Omkara, the loud sound, start internally to search for the source of the sound, from where that very vibration is coming, from where is the sound of that vibration. Okay, so you're going to search for that origin of that sound. Understand when you're chanting the Omkara, it should not come from the throat, it should come from your navel. 你的脐轮, okay, come from your navel chakra, where the vibration is happening. Okay, create the vibration of Omkara from your navel center. All right, so now I'm going to play now the Omkara. So I'm going to share that. Okay, I'm going to share that now, and you're going to start the meditation. Start chanting. Start chanting now the Omkara loudly. Now, at the end of the Omkara, go to the source of the sound. Just be in silence for a while. Feel the soundfulness of that silence. Experience the living silence as a living entity. All right, settle back into body awareness and your breath awareness. Coming from the space, come back to planet Earth now. Okay, ready? You can slowly remove the iPad. So how was the experience? My Kundalini energy couldn't stop couldn't stop getting awakened at the end of the Om. My body keeps jumping. What about you? Anyone want to share?
I feel like it's very peaceful.
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm not here. I feel like I'm in another space.
Yes. What about the rest?
I feel the very strong vibration, especially on my hands, wrists, and forearms. Although I was, making the sound from my throat, but the most vibrational area is my forearms, and then it's my the thorax region, and also the the stomach. And then in the end, when it was the silence time, I felt myself sort of like melting, like, like that, like that, like that. Very difficult to
Describe.
describe. Yes, it's like melting and become diminishing. I don't know. It's fun.
Basically dissolving your identity, this identity into the vibration, the energy.
Oh, I see. And at some point, also in the silence time, I forgot to breathe.
Yes, your breathing stops. It's normal.
Yeah. And then I remember, oh, how come not breathing? And then I breathe. But I breathe not because I needed it. It was like I remember it, so I start breathing again.
Yes.
I think there were 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Like that.
See, when you are in that meditative state, the prana shakti is supplied to you. You don't need breathing. you don't need to remember, oh, I'm not breathing. Okay, let me breathe. You know, but actually you don't need, you just relax only. You see that you're not, you stop breathing, but you can sustain you by the prana, the life force. Understand?
Oh.
So
Hmm.
see, let go of the fear that you're not breathing. Just relax. And you see another intelligent energy, which is Paramashiva's prana, would still engulf you and keep you alive.
Hmm.
Wow, Shankari got so
So,
many
so,
experiences.
so that is a good thing.
Of course, it's nice. Hey, to reach this state, it's not easy. To do a lot, many years of yoga and meditation, okay? To stop breathing, to be able to feel your being sustained by the prana shakti. It's not a natural thing. You need to be in a very high frequency to do that.
Hmm.
Okay?
Hmm.
Blessing. So Shagari said, I saw Trinity, the three Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And then finally, I assessed the core of the black hole. I sat inside and realized that it was Paramashiva's incubator. Yes. See, in that end of the Om, there is a silence. When you just stay in that silence, you will experience not just intense energy or Kundalini energy, but intense, vibrant silence. So whatever happened, whether you get teleported to some outer loka or whatever, just enjoy. What about the rest? Okay, Charashadika said that I can feel the Kundalini awakening. I saw Swamiji. Yes, nice. Maheshwari, whoever want to share, you can type in the chat or you can unmute. Who is this? Loves Visa. Loves Visa. Is it joining for the first time? Is it Anandata's friend? No. How did she come in? Welcome to the first time. Okay, so feel peaceful to source Swamiji, maybe in Nataraja form. Then when Maruga guide us into the source of the sound, my Kundalini jump, yes. Because the source of sound is where the source, everything, and feel the space, okay? Nothing in that space, just peaceful, yes. See, to get that space, some people need to meditate for many years to get to this space. Understand? Here we have Swamiji and we just ping, get catapulted into that space by his grace. So the source of the sound is the silence. Yes. Everything happens in silence. Creation happens in silence. It is from silence all the things happen. That's why Adi Guru, Dakshinamurti, he's constantly sitting in the eternal silence. Also, internal breathing. Nice. Anandata have that experience of breathing stopping. Yes. Your breathing will stop because so much energy, you don't need to breathe. The prana is supplied to you in that space. Anyone else want to share? What about Anita? How was this week's meditation technique for you?
I think I was so concentrated on trying to find the source that I couldn't find the source.
Just relax into the emptiness.
Exactly, because I was like, where?
Don't meditate with the mind. Just relax and see what happens. You can try it again on your own. No worries. What about Paramashantini?
Can you send that?
Yeah, I will send the vibration.
Yeah,
the
thanks.
track. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the track. Yeah, thanks.
Sure. 我长了70欧后就进入了，很快了，你thấy是吗？我也是很快 ，after a few minutes, it fall into that space already. Yes. Nice. That silent space. Then my Kundalini keep awakening. Too powerfully. What about Joby? Anything else? How was it for you? Do you enjoy this technique? All of you, give me a thumbs up. You enjoy this technique. Very powerful technique. Using the sound, which is the highest, most subtle element. See, space or ether is the most subtle element of all the five. You know, earth, water, fire, air, and space. Say, space is the most subtle of all the five, but it's the most powerful also. Something you to play in yoga tomorrow. Yeah. See, all the technique you learn, try to play with it for a few days on your own, and and see what happened. Because right now we can only do like a 21 minutes for all of you to get into the space. So when you prepare your body with yoga and sit with yourself, and the more time you do, the more able you get into the deeper or the depth of this meditation technique. So do it a few more times in like maybe 7 days or 1 week or 11 days. So of course you can also do up to 21 days, so it's really up to you, and just see what happens with this technique. Anyone else want to share? What about Rosita? Did she experience anything? Yeah, the last week's technique practice for a few days. Yeah, I also practiced for a few days.
Yeah, I feel a bit sleepy, like doing the yoga nidra.
Yes, see, in that space of silence, when you're not aware, you feel sleepy, but when you maintain aware, you're alive, you're so awake. Understand? It's not sleepiness, it's just relaxing into that silence. But in that relaxing, you may think it's sleepiness, but it's not sleepy, you're aware. Yes, nice. Anything else? Who else? Going off first. No worries, we're going to end now with the Purna mantra. Okay, so do share your experience in the group. So those of you who didn't get a chance to share here. So let's conclude with the Purna mantra. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you next week again. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavashi Nityananda Parama Shiva Paruta Paramastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you all for joining. Nityanandam. Jada Sharika, you can stop the live.